Pearl giving a speech entitled, "You've Got to Be in the Game to Win It." Jessica Pearl, you've got to be in the game to win it. You've got to be in the game to win it. Jessica Pearl.
It was a brisk fall day, and I was walking through Central Park. It was at this moment that I had to decide whether I was going to be in the game. Madam Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, and fellow potential game players. Have you ever had that moment in your life where you had to make a decision? You might not have known it at the time, but that decision could possibly change your life. At that moment, I made the decision to be in the game. That game was the dating game. I was walking through Central Park with the guy that I had been dating for a couple of weeks. And it was at that moment that he asked me if I would be his girlfriend. This might not seem like a difficult decision to you. It felt like he was asking me to have a kid with him or something. But for me, it was a very difficult decision. Let's rewind about 4.5 years. I had just gotten out of a 4.5-year relationship. This relationship was heading towards marriage. And I had decided that this was not the right person for me. He was a perfect person on paper, and there was nothing wrong with our relationship, but there was just something that was missing. I felt so horrible when I ended the relationship, but I still remember my uncle giving me a call when he heard about it, saying, "Congratulations." I mean, what am I being congratulated for? But nevertheless, I accepted his congratulations. But after that, it was very difficult. I got back into the dating game on the surface, but it was never really there. The people that I would date, they weren't really that interested in me, so it wasn't like it was going to go anywhere. But now, this was having the potential to be something real. I had met this person at my friend's sister's wedding, and we literally danced the entire night away. We went out on a couple of dates, and there we were in Central Park, and he asked me to be his girlfriend. I had so many reasons why it wouldn't work. First of all, he lived in New Jersey. I'm from New Jersey, so I can say it. Then there was the fact that we didn't even have the same waking hours. He was actually in radio, and he did the morning show, so he woke up at 2 in the morning to get ready for work. Now, for those of you who know me, you know that I'm often not even asleep at 2 in the morning. So obviously, this just couldn't work. And finally, he was my brother's age. Now, my brother's 2.5 years younger than me, and this person actually grew up in our hometown. And my brother and him actually had lockers that were right next to each other. So, thinking about dating someone from my brother's grade, it just didn't make any sense. So all these reasons were going through my head why it couldn't work. But then he said to me, "Jessica, really, what's wrong? Why don't you want to be my girlfriend?" And I finally admitted it. I was scared. I was scared that it might not work out. And I was scared that it might work out. And he said something very important to me. He said, "Jessica, I know you're scared, but you've got to be in the game to win it." I decided that I was going to be in the game. I had so many fears at that moment. But I decided to trust him, and I decided to be his girlfriend. I have to say that while the relationship didn't work out in the long run, it was a wonderful 3 months, and I learned a lot about the meaning of love. I learned 2 very important lessons from this person, which I have taken with me in my life. The first one is how to be passionate about something. This person was so passionate about everything he does. He's passionate about his job, he was passionate about the people in his life. Everything was just so passionate. And because of him, I've learned to be passionate as well. I truly believe that if it wasn't for him, I would have never gotten back into singing. I sung in college, and then for 6 years, I didn't sing after that, even though I knew it was something that brought me such amazing joy. But one day, I decided I was going to do the thing that I was passionate about again. This was back in 2007. 3 years later, I was performing in Carnegie Hall. I never even imagined that something like this could happen. And the second thing that I learned from him is to tell people how you feel about them. He would send me these emails telling me these amazing things about myself, and it wasn't just someone trying to compliment me or get me to do something. It was because he really meant it, and I knew that. And ever since then, I've been doing that in my own life. Maybe some of you have seen emails that I've sent you because I thought you did a great job in your icebreaker, or you did an amazing speech evaluation. If it wasn't for this person, I would have never been like this. So I'd like to tell you that if you're in that moment, you might not realize it at the time. We're all in the middle. We don't know what's coming in the future. But you need to trust. You need to have faith. And you need to remember, you can't win the game if you're not in it.